Let's go. This is another episode of A Wing and a Prayer with Gabe and Mike. What's going on with you, family? How you been, man?
I'm good, man. All right, a little cold out here. I wasn't expecting it to get this cold, but yeah, it's cold out here, man.
Yeah, Virginia gets cold, man. Like, contrary to popular belief, we get some days out here in the wintertime where it's in the 30s, in late 20s.
And it was snow the other day. I looked outside and I thought I was back home. I thought I was back in Brooklyn. Looked out the window, snow all over the floor. I was like, what?
I was really mad about the snow until I looked at a picture in Jersey and was like, oh, nah, I can deal with this.
Yeah,
because they're under snow.
Yeah. They had a blizzard, and I think they got another one on the way too. So
well, not really a blizzard, but heavy snow.
Okay, man.
Little 10 inches. 10 inches will shut this area down. 10 inches up there is like, hey, man, be on time to work.
I'm surprised that y'all were prepared for it out here. Like when I came outside, like there was a lot of snow like on the grassy areas, but like walking to work, the road was clear. You know what I'm saying sidewalks were clear. I was like, what? In New York, it's not like that.
A lot of salt here, man.
Stepping through snow.
We also ain't get a lot of rain with this snow, but normally when it stick to the ground, bro, we shut down for weeks. They shut school down for 3 inches for 3-4 days. You're like, bro, let's get back to school, guys. But now they virtual and stuff. Everything that's closed, man, they like whatever.
I was looking forward to get don't come into work today. It's closed down. We'll pay you for the day. I was looking forward to that.
They did that once or twice at work, man. It was the hurricane that didn't come.
Oh yeah.
Like we prepared and they was like shut down for the rest of the week before we opened our pre-grand opening. Shut down for like 4 days with pay, and we didn't get a drop of rain. Like not one drop. Like it didn't rain. The wind didn't pick up. It was just like
dry as hell.
And that's probably the last time they was like, man, look, we ain't paying them for nothing. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. But you ain't getting paid for free.
Right.
But yeah, we got a couple topics we want to hit on today, man. You know, it's Super Bowl Sunday today. I don't know when you guys are watching this, but it's Super Bowl Sunday as we record it. So we're going to jump in, man. This week has been an eventful week. I mean, out here in the world, all over the place, a lot of topics. We're going to hit you with a couple. Go ahead and get your thoughts. We're going to get our thoughts in. See where we stand. First things first. Rapper, my main man, King of the South, T.I., is back in the news again. This time with his name involved in a sex trafficking ring with wife Tiny. Apparently, some person who's just been kind of stalkerish to the family, and they said that she's just been annoying. She got a restraining order. She came out and said she was brought into a sex trafficking ring by rapper and singer T.I. and Tiny. Oh, man. Now there's like 14 other women have come out and said, yep, the Me Too thing is real strong. So now they've all been touched and had threesomes with T.I. and Tiny or been in this ring. Your thoughts?
My thoughts first and foremost is, can I say damn? Damn is cool, right?
Yeah, you
damn, man. Like it just hurts every time another prominent, strong black leader in the community, is brought down on allegations and sometimes even charges, especially at this stature. I'm saying the whole Me Too movement, the whole sex trafficking and sexual assault and all of those things are real touchy, and I'm gonna try my best to look at it from two ways. I'm saying, like, obviously the first way I could look at it is the way I just came about. I'm saying I don't want to tear down a fellow black man, I'm saying, who's built himself up from the bottom to reach where he's at today. But on the other hand, we also don't want to give an impression that we are, what's the word I want to use, that we are insensitive to these situations that most women face in the world today, especially with people in the movie and the music and the business industries. So it's just, I saw I didn't get too much of the information, but I saw some reports that some of the girls were saying they fell asleep around the area, like around them, and would wake up the next day not remembering the things that occurred, and all types of crazy things. And it's hard because, one, if you believe it, it's like, how many situations like this have happened already? The Bill Cosby's, the R. Kelly's, the Weinstein guys, just Jeffrey Epstein. I'm saying that, and these situations really do happen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But if this turns out to be something that is not true, then it kind of draws attention away from the real factual situations that happen, and kind of make you look at it like, I'm saying, so that's my PC politically correct response to that, and thoughts on it. Yours.
I'm not really politically correct, so I'm gonna just go ahead and let this. I don't want to believe it. This is my guy. This is T.I. It's the king of the South, man. I just don't understand how people in this day and age get themselves into situations. I'm not saying that if he did do it, he's totally wrong for his involvement. But at an adult age, how do you get yourself in these situations where you're just taking stuff that you don't know and falling asleep and don't like? How are you still getting involved in it? It's like, bro, I've escaped my whole life not getting caught up like that, you know? And I've been out and partying and stuff. It's like, bro, you put a drink down, it's like, I don't care how much it costs, I'm not picking it back up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just buy another one. You can't afford another one. Pre-game at the crib, so you ain't really got to buy too much at the club or wherever you at. And that just eliminates some of that vulnerability that you have.
Yep.
But for a young lady to come out years later and be like, oh, man, I fell asleep and didn't know. It's like, so why did you say something? You didn't say something the next day. You didn't ask him the next day. You didn't ask Tiny the next day. And how can you say, oh, we were part of a sex trafficking ring and they touched me if you woke up not remembering?
Right.
My thing is, how you wake up not remember but blame somebody? Like, that kind of don't go either. You remember or you don't. And if you don't remember, you can't blame anybody. Because you fell asleep, that you could have just been inebriated. Like, yo, look, I had one too many and I fell asleep. I've had nights like that. I look very coherent. But I wasn't there. Like, I answered questions like I was there, and he asked me the next morning. I was like, what? I don't remember the last 3 stops on our road trip, man. I don't understand. Like, I was at a loss. They was like, but you were good. You know, you was talking to us. I was there, but I wasn't there. But I just don't want to believe that. Like, that's a big allegation to throw on somebody. Like, and here's my thing. They bringing it up, but they said the girl was asking for money. My thing is, my pride and my body and all is not for sale.
Right.
So it's nothing that you can, like, you do something like that to me, you can't be like, well, look, take this check and I'm cool and we'll be cool. Yeah. It's like, nah, it's not for sale. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you put a price on it, like, it wasn't that big to you. So don't come out like, oh, woe is me because you put a price tag on it. You know what I'm saying? That he can obviously fulfill. Like, so if he throw the cash or throw the check, it's like, all is forgiven. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't agree with that.
I mean, I can't agree that trying to put a price point on your experience, especially a horrifying experience like that, is crazy. It's you can say absurd, ludicrous, all the words that mean the same thing you can use in that context, because it's like, if it was that detrimental to your health and to your mental state, then no amount of compensation will rectify that.
Yeah.
But what I can combat that with, because, you know, I'm always going to try to play devil advocate, what I could combat that with is, even though these are 2 completely different situations, so don't take it as if I'm trying to compare the 2, but it's instances where, you know, a young black man is murdered by the police. I'm saying police gets off, don't do no time, but the city pays the family millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm saying? Those millions of dollars is not going to take away from the fact that you just lost a family, but families are still accepting the money, the compensation, the payment for losing a family member, and you know, continuing life now essentially rich due to that. So I mean, the way I said all that to say, if the woman was harmed by them in this manner, you know what I'm saying, and then Tiny and T.I. came to her with a payment like, hey, look, we're gonna pay you X amount of dollars to keep quiet. How much different is she from them, from those same families who are saying, you know what, all right, I did lose a family member, but since you're going to give me X amount of dollars for me to get some type of thing back from this loss that I just have, I said, how much different is she from them to be like, hey, look, you know what, I'll take $10K a month because y'all did me wrong, and then before you continue, also, what is that saying about T.I. and Tiny that they will compensate this woman if they really didn't do anything and to begin with?
Yeah, but they're not compensating. They're fighting, they're going to court or whatever, get all this stuff thrown out. She's had restraining orders before. Same chick. Like, she's been showing up at parties and venues or whatever, so, you know.
But they had one out on her? Like, T.I. had a restraining order out on her?
Okay. Like, previously.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I get it. Families of murdered people do, but it's the same, but it's different. Because it's not like the cop who did it. It's like, hey, man, look, let me pay you for what I did.
Right.
It's like the city's like, yo, we're sorry on behalf of him, who's not going to apologize, you know.
Yeah.
Let me give you this. It's not like the cop killed somebody and be like, you know what, I did wild out. Take half of my pension, man, and just shut up, and then we'll be cool. Because that's not going down. Because if that same cop show up to the house trying to offer some compensation, he might not make it out, man. It's just because it's nothing that you can give them at that time of hurt that's going to make them be like, all right, cool. But the city do it as a gesture, you know what I'm saying? But now you actually want the person who harmed you to be like, take this. And I just don't believe it. But a lot of people do believe it, like, especially on the heels of his whole hymen check with his daughter and whatnot. On the heels of that, a lot of people's like, man, we can see T.I. being exactly like this. Like, we see that. And I don't agree, man. I mean, I'm a fan, so, you know, I'm gonna stand by him until he's proven guilty. But I just don't.
Society has found him guilty already, man.
I mean,
he was his last. This is his last straw. I'm saying he had the situation with where he was arrested and released mysteriously when he had all of this weaponry and all of those things. So, you know, the snitch title was thrown out. He had the Crime Stoppers commercial. You know what I'm saying, let him slide with that. Bounce back now with the hymen situation. You know what I'm saying, and a lot of women were like, you know what I'm saying, nah, this dude is crazy. He's weird. He's bugged out. You know what I'm saying? So that was the second strike, and now he shows up in a situation where it's like, yo, it's so real that MTV just canceled the production of the next season of their show. Like, once the TV stations and things start doing that, then they have some type of belief in what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, there's some credible evidence behind the scenes that is like, yo, you know, let's just pause from the T.I. and Tiny situation, because they could use this for their show. So if it wasn't so serious, they would still be continuing production, and they'd just use this time to be like, let's boost the ratings up and get some viewers here.
I think TV networks right now are so scared of being canceled as a whole that they just, at the sign of any trouble, they just be like, pause. They never fire you. They never cut your contract. It's just like, hey, man, let's just hold off on production. And now with COVID, it's like, oh, we have a reason to actually hold off on production. We got, like, that's our scapegoat. Yeah. You know, so I don't think they really believe it. I don't really believe it. The whole Hyman thing is, we've seen T.I. on Friends and Family Hustle and the Family Hustle. Bro, for the last 9 years or whatever they've been on there, 10 years, he just seems to be like, man, he's the dad that got it all together. You know what I'm saying? To be behind the scenes looking at his life and how he, you know, teaches his kids lessons and how he disciplines them different. It's not the normal black dad from the hood that's just want to yell and fight. And he gives them, you know, goals to reach, and he tell them how to get there, but he don't help them get there, you know. And he's raised, like, look at all his kids. He's raised some swell kids. Like, coming from where he come from.
His kids look kind of weird.
They look different, but they also grew up rich, so that's a little different. But none of them are really. None of them are wild. You know, you look at some people who grew up rich, the Nicole Richies who grew up rich, and the Paris Hiltons that grew up rich. His kids are not out there. The Kardashians, like, his kids are not doing that stuff. You know, he's just different. You know, Macaulay Culkin, kid star with money. You know, Raven Simone, kid star with money.
Orlando wasn't it Orlando Brown?
Yeah, kid star with money.
That's
you
his
know,
name? Yeah.
And you look at him, all his kids were kid stars on the show. They got a couple rappers, a couple clothing lines, people, like, they are just out the way. So he did a good job as a dad. Like, the Hyman thing, I get the story behind it. You know, I don't have any girls. I have 3 boys, so maybe I'm insensitive or don't know, like, you know, what line to cross and what not to cross. Yeah. But if you're in my house and you sneak out with a boy for the weekend or for overnight and whatnot, after I told you no, and you sneak out, privacy and all that stuff is gone. Like, we have to go check that now. Like, I can't rely on you to tell me the truth no more because you lied. Deception is lying. You snuck out. That's basically lying to my face. That's the biggest disrespect you can give. I say, don't go nowhere, and you like, climb out the window. At this point, you're a liar. And even if you're like, oh, no, we didn't do nothing, I can't believe you. Like,
I understand that. But what I'm saying, where that comes from is like, all right, T.I. and his daughter's mom, they conceived this child at the age of 17 or something like that, right?
Something like early.
All right, so if his daughter is the age of 16 and you feel the need to even check, to have the doctor check hymens and things like that, then you know that she is of the age where sex is something that is happening or is going to happen pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is an invasion of his daughter's privacy. It is not his business, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, yes, if she snuck out, that is his business. And sneaking out and disobeying rules that are set in place as far as, like, curfews and things of that nature. And, you know what I'm saying, sneaking out with a guy and all that. Yes, I know that's that type of stuff. Me being a girl dad, I'd be like, yo, what the F? I'm saying I would be upset. I wouldn't like that too much. But at the same time, I feel like you cannot police a woman's virginity. I'm not trying to be a pick-me. I'm not trying to be a guy who seems to just cater to the thoughts and things of women, but I do, to an extent, understand where women would come from if they felt their dad, their husband, their boyfriend, their brother, a male figure in their life is kind of policing their sexuality and their personal things. So I just don't feel like that was his place. I'm saying, now, if the mom or Tiny being his wife, if she has that relationship with his daughter and, she sat down and had a conversation with his daughter, or she got that information from the doctor, I would view it a little differently, and I think most women would probably view it a little differently. But being that it came from a man, and in the manner in which he discussed it, although I didn't really see it, so I could be paraphrasing it, but it just seemed, I'm not going to paraphrase, I'm just going to say it seemed that he was speaking in a way where it's just like, yeah, I did it, like, I get it checked, like
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
He said on this podcast, like, yeah,
I'm saying, and it seemed a little insensitive. Like, I feel like it seemed insensitive.
I feel like as a good, strong dad, that gives me the, and I could be wrong, ladies, so don't cancel me, because we just got started, so don't cancel me from gate. But if I had a daughter, and from birth until 16, 17, I've raised you. I've given you everything. I've done right by you. We've never had secrets. We always talk to each other and told each other the truth. When you start lying, then I have to go do extra stuff. I got to go overboard. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So I gave you everything. I don't have to ask nobody else to come check for me, whatever. Because ain't nobody come check for me or help me when I was buying clothes and putting a roof over your head and putting shoes on your feet, putting food in your belly. That was me. So now you're like, oh, well, you got to know boundaries. There were no boundaries this whole time. There was no boundaries on what you asked for.
Yeah.
Like, there was no boundaries on what I would do for you. Like, school dances, school recitals, I'm here, I'm everywhere. Like, buying outfits, running here, running there, ballet practice, gymnastic practice. I'm doing all this, stretching myself out. It's for you to lie at that, pause. But for you to lie at this stage, it's like, bro, you basically... You spit on everything I did for you and was like, bro, I'm growing into this person. Yeah. And if you're growing into this person that lies, then I have to do something. Like, I didn't see what was wrong with it. All my cousins looked at me like, bro, you're crazy. But I don't have any girls. So there is no boundaries with my boys, you know what I'm saying? But there's no boundaries with their mom either. She'll go in the bathroom after them just like I would. Hey, man, like, tighten up. Hurry up. Get out. Hey, let me see you wash. You ain't washing good enough. Like, it's no boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess I can get it. But to his point, and a lot of points of people like me, once you start breaking things like trust, and because you break trust at home, you'll break laws in the street. And if you get locked up, it ain't no privacy at this point. So you might as well get used to your privacy getting checked for you being dishonest and being deceitful. Because a deceitful child at home will turn into a deceitful adult in the streets. And you get bagged. And it's no more privacy.
That's the respectable position.
Now there's 30 people watching you wash and whatnot. And they're going to be checking hymens for real. Like,
That's a respectable position. I also want to try to provide some type of context. I don't know now, so you could correct me and y'all could comment and all of that and correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe I heard or saw somewhere that there was some sort of deal in place between T.I. and his daughter where if she maintained her virginity, he would pay for like college or like it was something he was gonna do something that it was some kind of deal that was in place. So I guess looking at it through that lens and that perspective, then he has to protect his investment. I'm saying, like, if you had a plan in place, he has to know that she did not, break that contract. She did not go back on her word, lose her virginity, and still continue to try to, collect whatever reward was in place. Now, I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong, comment, all of that, and let us know what y'all think. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if you heard that part.
I heard it, but I don't know how true it is. But if that's the case, then how else did she think that he was supposed to check? Yeah. So up until that point, she could have been doing anything, but not got caught. You just happened to get caught sneaking out the house. So if our deal is, hey, if you maintain virginity until this day, and then I catch you sneaking out with a boy for the weekend, how else am I supposed to be like, all right, in good faith, be like, all right, you still maintained it. Yeah. Like, it just don't work that way. Like, I got to check behind your work. My manager checked behind my work. Yeah. Like, so that's just what it is.
Our manager, he kind of sucks. He check behind my
work. Well, they supposed to check behind your work.
We got to expose his malfeasance.
But yeah,
pretty bad.
I hope it's not true, man, because I'm a T.I. fan, man. I love the King of the South, man. And I hate to first off, I'm not going to stop listening to his music, guilty or not. Like, I didn't stop listening to R. Kelly yet.
I still bump some stuff to the name Love, Woman's Threat, and that's what's called, right? Woman's Threat, Woman's Threat, yeah. I don't remember what it's called. But I listen to a couple R. Kelly joints still. I still rock with R. Kelly. Yeah, Sorry, y'all, don't kill me.
I'm not going to stop. Like, so I hope it's not true. Tip, come on, man, get it together. Man. Stay out the news, man.
Please, stop defying black culture rules, man. Stop snitching.
I don't think that's true. But,
you don't think he snitched?
He told.
Oh, come on, listen.
But if I tell on the person who killed my mans in front of me, that's not snitching.
The reason to me why I would consider what T.I. did as snitching is because he is an individual who, through his music, perpetuated a trapping, hustling, street persona to the masses, to young individuals like myself who listen to a lot of his music and who continue to go outside and to also try to perpetuate a sort of persona who followed this hustling street mentality, these rules. And within these rules, I think the number one rule is that you do not tell. You keep your mouth shut. If you intended to commit a murder upon someone who had murdered your friend and you were caught in the process, yes, you gotta shh. I'm saying,
I think that's the opposite of snitching.
Nah, you are not the only individual. The opposite of snitching is not snitching. It's shutting up. You know what I'm saying? So if you are unsuccessful in getting revenge for your friend, you're not your friend's only loved one who's out. You get on that jack. You know what I'm saying? Person terms. You get on that jack. You call home. You talk to the town. You let one of your mans know. Look, I tried to do X, Y, Z. You get the word out so that they can in turn try to go and rectify that.
Is he a killer?
In his music, he
never said he killed anybody.
I don't know. I would have to go back and listen to every song.
He hustled. He said he fight a lot. Now with the hands, we know he about the action. He tried to fight Floyd, so he about throwing them hands.
I'm saying, but he's easy to perpetuate a lifestyle with the cameras on. Like,
but he's not.
Cameras is around when Floyd is around, so I'm gonna act like I'm ready to fight too.
I think he really.
They ain't gonna get that far.
He really with that action. I think he with the throwing the hand. He's not a killer. He's never professed to be a killer.
He tried to be a killer. He had a trunk full of guns,
C4
tried. And grenades.
But he's not.
All right, when you get caught with it, you do the crime, you do the time.
But he's not a killer. Snitching is when we do the same thing, and I get caught, and I tell, if me and you on a block, we hustle, we get money. Cops run down, you run, I run, I get caught. They be like, listen, who was with you? We'll let you home. And I'm like, man, it was Gabe. That is a clear snitch because we were doing the same thing and got caught. They weren't doing the same thing. T.I. is a rapper, actor. and a killer killed his homeboy.
Was the guy a killer initially? Or
Yeah.
did he? How you know that might have been his first kill?
Nah, they say he a thug out there in Cincinnati. They say he was out there getting it dead in Cincinnati. But he's a killer. I'm a rapper actor. I just, out of passion, try to retaliate.
You're a rapper actor who previously was a street dude. You previously followed
A drug dealer is not a killer.
code. But he's a street dude. And even drug dealers can snitch, right?
Yeah.
Right,
On drug dealers.
You can snitch on anybody, really.
It's only snitching if we do the same thing and I tell.
Snitching only does not apply to citizens, okay? Like, anybody out here trying to perpetuate a street life, please listen to me. Street dudes cannot tell on each other. That's snitching. But if you
It
are a
depends
citizen,
what type of street dude you are.
no, it doesn't depend. If I'm a thief,
I'm a robber, I'm on the block, I'm pistol whipping people taking your money. And you're just a lowly drug dealer, corner boy. You know, I hustle when I go home. I don't know how to fight. I don't really carry guns. I just sell pills here and there and I go home.
Yeah.
If I run up on you and pistol whip you and rob you, you have every right to tell on me because that's not what you do.
No.
Now, if you're a robber and I'm a robber and I rob you, and then you telling me for robbing you, it's like, bro, you can't rob me because you got 30 robberies under your belt. You get what I'm saying?
I think snitching is snitching as long as you fall under the street mentality. As long as, because if you, as a common thief, you follow the idea that if another common thief came and robbed you and you told them that will make you a snitch,
that's what makes you a snitch.
that just means that you believe that telling on an individual is snitching. It shouldn't matter what the circumstances are once you're not a citizen, once you're not a regular, everyday, tax-paying, even though thieves and criminals do that, some of them do pay their taxes. I don't want to just say tax-paying, but if you don't live a life of crime, you telling on
what
an
is considered a life of crime?
Crime.
So here's the thing. You're a killer. I'm a drunk driver. I see you kill somebody. I can't tell on you because I'm a drunk driver. That's a life of crime. I'm out here committing crimes, man. I speed at night. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I go 90 into 55. You know what I'm saying?
Touche. You got me there. You know what I'm saying? You got me there. I guess we can't just put it all in a box. I can't just say a life of crime.
I did pick the pettiest thing ever.
Because that was a great analogy, and I have no rebuttal for that. But I still would like to believe. I'm going to bring it all the way back. T.I. being the dude who perpetuated his music. Now, I keep bringing it back to that because I've always had an issue, and I don't want to make this topic all about this, because we got other things we want to talk about. Super Bowl is today, and I know you want to get back, watch the Super Bowl and all that, so we're going to try to keep it clean and short. But I've always had an issue, as I don't want to say I'm an enlightened individual. I'm not no 5%er. I'm not a God body, none of that. But you know what I'm saying? I followed a certain path in life, and then I got to a certain point where I started to realize a lot of things were BS, and that I was following the wrong individuals, and I was looking up to and trying to be like the wrong individuals. So, you know what I'm saying? I kind of wisened up. I ain't perfect. Nobody is except for the Lord, of course. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying, living life better than I used to. But I felt like the music industry, mainly the music industry that is powered by our community, which is rap, they find a way to perpetuate a specific lifestyle to the youth, because it's the youth who really follow it to the T. So, you know, early in the 90s, and I don't know about the 80s too well, but I know the 90s was like the gangster rap element of it, the drug dealing element of it, and as we fast forward to the stage of music that we are now, it's still the gangster individuals in it, but it's also now the drug user element of it as well. And I just feel like these individuals, I mean, T.I. got to a certain part in his career where now he might not rap about those certain things, because obviously he's just far removed from it, and now he's realized, hey, look, I got to start giving a positive outlook on life for the youth, especially being that he has his own kids and he wants them to follow a different path. But sometimes it's a little too late. Yeah. And also, just the perpetuation of these type of lifestyles to the youth is just something that I can't get behind. I even had a hand in trying to rap myself for many years, and once I realized that it's really difficult to become an artist in the music industry if you're not rapping about a certain thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to grab people's attention. I'm saying I kind of fell back on it a little bit because it's like no one really wants to hear the enlightened artist. I'm saying it's hard for a J. Cole. It's hard for a Kendrick. It's not really, but really. I'm saying it's hard for there's a lot of other individuals out there that's like that, and obviously I don't know them too well because they're not out there far enough for me to know. So that's my problem with T.I. I feel like you can't be a person who's perpetuating this lifestyle to kids and youth and things of that nature, and then turn around and put yourself in a position where your street code was tested, you feel me, and you went the 6ix9ine route. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't respect that. Like, I can't. I love him as a pioneer in the music industry because of that trap era. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. We all loved it. You know what I'm saying? The T.I.s, the Gucci's, the Jeezys, and all of the ones that followed. But it's just like I can't sit right with that. I've forgiven him. I still listen to his music. I still think he's one of the best artists to ever come out of Atlanta and the South, especially when it comes to lyrics and wordplay. But yeah, I can't get with that. So yeah, he's a snitch. Sorry, T.I.
I just don't agree with it because I think everybody tells to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Even Gucci, who people, he's a gangster. It's like, oh man, yeah, you killed the dude that came for you, but you literally dry snitch, and
many records.
We only know that it's Jeezy because you said it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, whether you went to the cops and said you really tried to get him indicted because you knew what you was doing, making all these songs, 1,000 songs. Mm-hmm. He did a verse. It was like, man, every song that you got is telling on Jeezy, man.
Yeah.
Like this. So people dry snitch, but my thing about the music is people just can rhyme, man. It's like they're feeding you a lifestyle, but we don't know if they really did it. It's just like R&B artists. You would think they just listen. They out here porn starring. Like, man, I'm out here the man. And like, it's like, but you don't know. Like, you hear Nicki and them rap, you be like, man, she probably out here just going crazy,
doing the D's,
and obviously not doing much. You know what I'm saying? Because Meek cheated on Nick and Offset cheated on Cardi, but in their music, it's like, bro, how could you want more? But it's a rhyme thing, man. Like, people take that as law. Like, man, if they said it, they mean it. It's just a skill at this point, man. Like, I think Jay-Z said about Nas, you scribbled in your notepad, created your life.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't do it, you witnessed it from your folks' pad. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a rhyme scheme, man. I don't take what they say as law. I used to with Jay-Z. I was like, this guy's pretty solid. But then, I never caught him tripping. But if it does come out, I'll be heartbroken. But
there's been many drug dealers who've been released and came out and say Jay-Z was really doing what he said he was doing.
So yeah. But
one of the real ones.
Tip, get it together, man.
Yes, please.
Next topic. We ain't gonna hold you too long. It's Super Bowl Sunday, but we got some stuff to talk about. Next topic, what we got? What we got on the docket?
Mr. Chad Wheeler.
We jumping straight to that.
Oh, you want to hold off on Chad? We gonna do the NBA. We talk about the NBA real quick.
Yeah, we talk about the NBA real fast because that topic is that's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, we're gonna be on that for a minute, I think.
Yeah,
we got the NBA players, mainly from what I've seen, LeBron James, De'Aaron Fox, and I've seen Vince Carter even been in agreement. He's not playing anymore, obviously he's retired, but he agreed, and I think either in Kendrick Perkins that the NBA and the NBPA, the NBA Players Association, they have decided to move forward with the All-Star Game in this shortened, pandemic-filled season. The game is slated to begin on March 7th. This year is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, and for those of you who know, Atlanta, Georgia is considered to be an open city, whereas they don't have as many restrictions in place as far as the COVID protocols go. So I seen LeBron do an interview where he pretty much said that he has zero energy and zero excitement. I think I'm paraphrasing, but I think those are his exact words to participate in an all-star game. He went on to say if he's selected, he'd be there, and I just laughed because I'm like, LeBron, what do you mean if you're selected? You're going to be the leading all-star vote bearer. Like, you're going to the all-star game, brother. Yeah, so he's like, I'd go if I'm selected, but if not, he would not participate. He doesn't wish to participate. De'Aaron Fox said something to the effect that I think he thinks it's dumb.
De'Aaron Fox is not going to make it. So
nobody's checking for you, De'Aaron Fox.
Like, you could have kept your comment.
Nobody really cares what you think about it. But I want to know what are your feelings about some NBA players expressing their disagreements with this agreement, how the NBA in the beginning of the season kind of gave them their word that there would be no All-Star game. So this break, I think, is going to be like from the 5th to the 10th. So this is supposed to be a break in time where players like LeBron and Jimmy Butler and those who participated in the finals were going to be able to relax.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of teams like New York Knicks were out from last year in March. So we had from about March, I think, when the NBA shut down, all the way until when it picked back up, and I think it was December, to kind of recalibrate, get themselves together, get their situations in order at home with family and things like that. And LeBron and these other guys who participated in the finals and other teams who were booted just a little bit before that, they really didn't have as much time to like relax and get their thoughts together and chill out. So what are your thoughts on the NBA continuing on with this plan to have this All-Star game?
I understand that the NBA it's a business. So they're going to look out for the bottom line, number one. But I think it's a horrible idea to have an All-Star game. First off, you're not going to sell out. So you're not going to make nearly the money that you want to make or that it's going to cost you to throw All-Star weekend.
Right.
Because you only can put so many hundreds of people, a couple thousand people into the stadium, which seats, 65, 70,000. You only can go up to, 15, something like that. So you're going to have mad empty seats. So the excitement's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And there's so many restrictions that the NBA put in place, not just, the city. So the NBA you can't hug after games. You can't, change jerseys. You can't do all these things. So now you want to have a 6 feet masked up All-Star game with all the festivities that goes on, the 3-point contest. Like, people's not going to come check for that. Yeah. If it's so many rules, the All-Star game is fun. It's all the players from all the teams, not in a competitive but not team competitive environment. Everybody's getting along. There's a bunch of friends running on the court, ha ha ha, laughing, falling all over the place, ha ha ha. Now it's like, hey man, we gotta be serious. Like, you get your shots up and then put your mask on and come back over here and check for the next person. Like, it's not gonna be. It doesn't seem fun in an already shortened season, in a shortened break. It's just like, man, just get them some time off, man. Like, they dealing with COVID. You know how many tests these NBA players got? They play every other night, so they getting tested pre-game. They getting tested after the game. They getting tested the next day on the day off on the flight. Just get them 5 days to go home and just not have a Q-tip shoved up their nose and just not get tested. Like, just let me get a few days to not fly. Let me get a few days to just not do anything, man. Like, I know this is their normal schedule, flying every other day, games, all this stuff, but that in the midst of still trying to wear a mask and not being able to go out and go to restaurants that you would, like, because they go to other cities, they're not eating or chilling like they normally would. They're not going to Ruth's Chris and like, let me have me a good asparagus and steak. It's whatever the hotel got, man. It's not fun. You're not really roaming around. So just give me a minute to just relax and not be in a hotel the whole time. Now you want to go to Atlanta, the city's open, but we're not gonna be able to, enjoy the city because, one, we got to make sure we don't get COVID because after All-Star break, we got 100,000 tests to take. So we're not gonna be able to enjoy it. So they probably put restrictions in, like, hey, guys, got to be in the room by 11. At this point, if you got to monitor me like that, just let me go home. The NBA will be fine if they just miss a couple days of no basketball. I'll be hurt, but it's in March, and March Madness will be going on. I'll watch that.
Right.
But they can afford to lose a couple days of pay, man. I'm totally with LeBron. Like, you don't want to wear the money machines out. Like, right. the players, the money machine. So if you wear them out and they just be like, shh, I can't take it. What you gonna do if they just decide to be like, man, look, we all about to sit out for a couple days. We rest. It's no rules against that, really. So if he sit out and, AD sit out and Jimmy sit out and the Giannis's sit out for a couple of days, like, man, we just need 5 days off. Like, now your ratings are going to suffer. Who's going to watch that game?
Right.
Like, who's about to go here and be like, listen, I'm going to watch the Giannis-less Bucks and the Chris Middleton-less Bucks. Like, after that, who's left?
Nobody want to watch that.
Like, Dellavedova?
I don't even watch Bucks games as it is now with Giannis.
With Giannis. So you think I want to see it without him? But yeah, man, they just gotta get that together and take this loss, man. It's like, y'all wearing these players out, man. I get it. Y'all people, they get paid millions.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Their money is not.
My body goes through millions of dollars of rigorous training and gotta eat right, and I gotta train every day, and I gotta get jumpers up, and I got practice, and I got film, and I got travel. We look at the money they make, but we couldn't do the stuff that they do. Like, off the basketball court. Just the stuff that goes into getting ready to play the 48-minute game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I'm not getting up at 7, hit the gym hard for a couple hours, come home, shower, go to practice, hit that hard for a couple hours, take a COVID test, come home, pack a bag, catch a flight to Indiana, land there, get in a hotel, film room, bed, wake up the next day, walk through. Like,
Facts.
Before I get to the court, I'm like, man, I done had a week, man. like, who's doing all that, man? Like, they deserve that, and they deserve this rest, man.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's maybe one of the rarest occasions in which I do agree with everything that LeBron James said when it comes to this situation. I just see, obviously, this is a money grab for the NBA, trying to make back some of the money that they lost last year due to having to have the season shut down for such a long time. I'm saying that's why they were such in a rush to jump back into the season this season, and now they reneged on not having the All-Star game go on. I can see, because I already see a lot of people on my Facebook and my Instagram and all that, people going to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They booking their flights, they going to Atlanta, they having their fun. Atlanta's open, you feel me? So I could just imagine the traffic that is going to occur knowing that the All-Star game is going to happen. We all know the history of the thoughts in the All-Star weekend, you feel me?
People still checking for thoughts with the COVID.
Listen, what happened with what's homeboy name from the Rockets? He got caught up with the joint inside the bubble, you feel me? And I believe he was married, or he had a girlfriend at home. He got caught up with the worker, you feel me, and got booted out the bubble. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they still checking for the thoughts in the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? So, the thought-demic. So, it's like, I can see hordes of people pouring into Atlanta to try to partake in the festivities. Obviously, everyone is not going to be able to get a ticket into the All-Star game because, like you said, the restrictions that the city have, and then also the restrictions that the NBA have in place might put a cap on the amount of people you can have inside. So that leaves the outside activities. I know Shaq used to do the All-Star Weekend comedy thing where, so, you know, I can imagine that there would be like parties and all types of things going on in Atlanta for that week, having all of these stars in place, and I could just see a huge spike in coronavirus numbers
in the NBA. So this is why the league should think about that. If they're gonna have parties and stuff, they're not gonna be in there drinking and having it with these masks on. The masks gonna be down here. Everybody gonna be in each other's face, thinking we good. So it's either shut this All-Star Weekend in Atlanta. Atlanta's a hot spot anyway, man. Listen, Keisha Lance Bottoms, was she mayor? She done had COVID. Like, bro, the whole city got COVID.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to Atlanta and party all weekend. You're going to end up shutting the NBA down because upon arrival on the 10th or whenever they're supposed to get back, everybody get tested is going to be out.
Thanks.
And if all the All-Stars is not playing, I'm not watching the game with the third man off the bench start. Like, I don't want to watch that.
Start calling up dudes from the G League to come.
Who wants to watch that?
Yeah.
Like Mike and Gabe, come on up to the Lakers. Like, what?
I mean, I'll go collect a paycheck, but
AD's out for a while. COVID, 14 days. You know, it's like, what?
Yeah, I don't want to see my 5'9" self on that court looking like an ant trying to put up shots.
Yeah, so they need to go ahead and just cut it, man. You got to protect your investment, and the players themselves are the investment. Like, you're going to lose some money, but do you want to lose money for the All-Star weekend, or do you want half the league to come back with COVID from partying in Atlanta, and you got to shut down for another month or two? And then we had the same thing we had last year where, we have a play-in, but the team's just close, and let's go back to the bubble. Like, just shut it down. You're not going to lose money. Nobody's going to, like, I hate the NBA. We didn't have an All-Star game. Nobody's going to. The Pro Bowl was virtual. They was playing 2K or playing Madden. And I like that more than the Pro Bowl.
Hey, man, that might have been an interesting thing to do. Set up a 2K tournament.
Yeah, they had the screen. Like, Snoop was commentating one side. They had another person else.
Make it like that. Had celebrities.
A couple of players, they were switching. You play first quarter, I play second. It was great. I enjoyed that more than the Pro Bowl. So it's other interesting ways to do stuff, man. You don't have to stick to the plan that's already laid. Oh, let's just do the All-Star game like we normally been doing. You just got to get creative. Like, in different times, you got to get creative. Like, if your hustle not activated right now, then you don't really deserve to be in the position that you're in. So, commissioner, shut it down and get a 2K tournament in New York in Times Square, and use the Megatron or something like that. Let's play up there on the big TV and let's just have it.
You know what another interesting thing could have been is like being that one of the main things LeBron said was that teams like himself and the Heat who were in the finals and teams who were part of the playoffs, I'm saying they needed some time to rest. There were teams who were not playing who were trash, like I mentioned my own team. So it's like, why not give those teams maybe, I don't know what the deal could be, but you have them play each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, let their season continue. They don't need a week break. They had months of breaks. You feel me? Let them continue their season on, continue to play, give the fans something to watch. You feel me? During the pandemic and this break that's going on, and just keep going. Like, I don't think we need an all-star game.
I'm sorry, guys. The studio audience is funny.
Okay. I don't know if that was a photo op. I don't know what the dudes was doing.
If y'all could have just saw the studio audience right there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it.
I was trying to hold it together. I was trying not even to look over there, but I don't know what that was.
Oh, man.
Then they left it. They just left it there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm back.
But I agree. I agree with everything you and LeBron are saying. Shut down the
me and him don't only think alike. I give him a call every now and then. Like, hey, man, they rich.
You feel me? Let's just skip the NBA All-Star game this season.
Or just play with people who just weren't in the bubble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the opposite of an All-Star game, and have it have a not so good game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the wannabe All-Star game.
You feel me?
Nilakina.
Quickly before we get off of the NBA and stuff, the Knicks did a trade today. They traded what's his name, Dennis Smith Jr. and draft compensation. So I'm not sure what picks we traded. I like to think second rounders. We traded them to Detroit to acquire Derrick Rose back into the New York Knicks. So we now have Derrick Rose on our roster once again. He's a Tom Thibodeau guy.
Wait a minute, time out.
Yeah, breaking news, man.
Y'all traded a player and some picks for Derrick Rose?
I think we traded probably some second rounders.
Some?
I think maybe a 1 or 2.
Is Derrick Rose back to the Bulls, Derrick Rose, or he?
No, Derrick Rose is not. Obviously, he's not MVP Derrick Rose, but he has made a resurgence.
Is he better than Dennis Smith Jr.?
I think so.
And picks?
Well, we don't know what those picks would be, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know if it's. It said draft compensation, so I don't know if we did give up picks. I don't know if it's some type of money that we're going to be giving up. Those details haven't been expressed yet, exposed yet. I'm not quite sure as of this recording and as of this moment, but yeah.
That seems a bit much for Derrick Rose, but I hope it works out because he's been
so too.
He's been playing his heart out.
Yeah. My thoughts on that quickly, I'm saying before we move on once again is I just don't know where he's going to fit in in Tom Thibodeau's lineup rotation as it stands, because he only plays about 8 guys a night. Dennis Smith Jr. was not playing, so he chose to go to the D League. And just before this trade happened, I caught wind of it last night, and I saw a couple people saying that Frank Ntilikina was going to be in this trade. So I thought he was going to trade away Ntilikina to acquire Derrick Rose. And when the trade actually went through, it was DSJ. So Ntilikina also hasn't been playing. I don't know whose minutes Rose is going to take. Is he going to just ride the bench? We got an emerging rookie star by the name of Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, he's going good.
You know what I'm saying? He's been doing his thing. He hasn't been playing that many minutes, and Thibodeau loves to play Elfrid Payton a lot of minutes. So I just don't know where Derrick Rose is going to fit into this lineup. So I'm saying, if you're a Knicks fan and you have any thoughts on this, just comment below. Let us know what you think about the trade and the stature of the Knicks. We lost today against the Heat. We played them again on Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday or something like that. So, just, feel free to comment about any of the topics that we have, like, share all of that stuff. And I'm saying, show some love to your boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
next topic, probably last topic. This is going to be a doozy.
Yeah.
So this week, Well, this didn't even happen this week. It happened last
month,
Saturday. Was it? Yeah, last
when
Saturday.
the situation happened. Yeah.
So we didn't get wind of it in the media until probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. It just wasn't big. But Chad Wheeler, offensive lineman for the Seattle Seahawks, caught in a domestic. I don't even want to just like domestic dispute. He was arrested for beating his girlfriend, black woman, because she wouldn't bow down to him. Well, first off, that relationship, for you to say something like that, it just speaks to your inner self. Like, you can't hide white supremacy. If you tell a black woman to bow to you as a white, I don't tell my black woman to bow to me as a black man. Ain't no bow down to me. What?
Not gonna happen. I'd sooner bow down to my wife, to my girl.
That's it. That's my queen. That's it. But so let's set the table. He didn't just beat her. I guess he used the whole mental health thing, or he called it a manic episode, because he didn't take his bipolar medicine. So he beat his girlfriend, choked her, strangled her twice until she passed out. The second time, she was out for a minute. She woke up eventually and ran to the bathroom to call the cops, and his response was, "Oh, so you're still alive." So that means he intended to, or thought he had, killed her.
Yep.
So the cops heard him saying that. She called the cops, said, he's trying to kill me. They get there, and they try to subdue him, try to calm him down, and, tased him to little or no effect at all. So 3 people jumped on him. He's an offensive lineman. He's pretty strong. You're not just about to take him down with regular-sized guys. Nope. So they said it took them a while to subdue him and get him cuffed, because he's so big. They had to put 2 or 3 together, to try to just to subdue him and tie him up. No fatal injuries on him. No serious injuries at all. She went to the hospital with, they said he choked her so hard she had burst capillaries in her throat. She had all types of bruises and stuff on her face, a dislocated elbow, all types of stuff. Media didn't really cover it. It flashed across the bottom of my screen, and then the Seahawks released a statement and said, "Oh, we're releasing them." But it wasn't a big issue. My thing is, if that had been an African-American player telling a Anglo-American woman to bow down to him, and then he beat her, his life would have been over. Like, cops coming, they might have killed him, but it would have been blasted across so many media outlets, loud. Like, we've seen for smaller stuff than this.
For dog fighting.
For dog fighting, for just, it's everywhere. People getting into accidents, single car accidents in their own car. It's hitting curves and messing up rims, and it's blasted everywhere. And it's just got no media coverage. And I'm saddened, because it's like, we obviously live in 2 different Americas. I'm saddened for her, because it's like we just ignored it. Like, nobody talked about it. It just wasn't on First Take, or it wasn't on Skip and Shannon until like Wednesday, after Plies, of all people, said something like, "Man, how dare y'all not say something about this?" Then everybody wanted to be like, "Well, this incident happened," but it happened Saturday. It didn't get hit the news until Wednesday. So I'm deeply saddened for her. I'm upset that certain people get to use the mental health aspect of things. Everything is not a mental health thing. I know people who suffer from bipolar. They don't really just go around beating people up or beating their girlfriends up.
Yeah.
At 6'7", 310, 320. They just don't go around beating up 5'4" girls that weigh 160, 150, 140. Like, that's just not what you do. Now, do you have episodes where you just be angry, or your mood change? People think bipolar is just getting angry. It's not just getting angry. Bipolar is when your mood swings from one extreme to another quickly. So you could be happy in a joyous occasion and then just be sad real fast. Or you can be happy and then angry, but then it's back to happy. That's bipolar. It's not just, when he's angry, he's having a bipolar mood. Like, that is not just bipolar. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more avenues of just me getting angry to the point I want to break stuff. That's anger issues. That is a loss of control. That is not a mental health thing of bipolarism. Like, we got to stop giving people this outlet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we didn't give Ray Rice that outlet. We didn't give Kareem Hunt that outlet. Rick Roof had his baby mom killed. Like, obviously he was going through something. We didn't give him a mental health outlet. It was just like, hey, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a constant when it comes to African Americans in this country, especially. I'm not to belittle the women, but especially us men. We're seen as a threat, and it's immediately lock him up or kill him before he causes harm. Before I even get into my thoughts, I just want to say, first of all, prayers and blessings to the women that this happened to. Prayers and blessings to anyone who deals with any mental issues, bipolar or anything that falls under the spectrum. And I always like to say shame on all of the prominent black male color analysts who did not bring this story to the forefront. There was a brother who did. I'm ashamed of myself for not having his name right now to kind of give him a shout out. I'm saying he brought it to the light when no one else was speaking about it, so a shout out. What's his name?
Nate Burleson.
Nate Burleson. Shout out to that young brother for bringing that up, because the Stephen A's, the Shannon Sharps, and the Ray Lewises, and all of these guys.
Well, he's definitely not going to speak on it.
You feel me? They did not mention it at all. So I just want to say that a big shame onto those guys. I like to say a lot of other words, but we're a family-friendly show here. We're gonna try to keep it under wraps. All right. So when I read the ESPN article, because I read it today, the article that I read, it stated that he pleaded not guilty to his charges. Okay. Now, first, he posted bail back in January. So this happened even earlier than we thought. Like, we thought it happened it did happen at the end of January, like the 20-something. He bailed out 3 days after his incarceration. So even after I'm going to read his charges in a minute. Even after that fight that you just explained that happened, how he was arrested, he was in. He was out 3 days later. I'm saying $400,000 bail for a NFL player is $4. It's a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is nothing. You understand? So, I mean, it's just comical to see that, because a person who lives in a poor community who commits virtually the same crime or something that might be a little bit more violent or so, or maybe even less violent, maybe a non-violent crime, their bail sometimes is far beyond that, you understand? And they have no means of paying it, and so they remain in prison until the trial date, and all of these things happen. So that's one thing. Secondly, his charges were, and I start with, it was domestic violence assault, domestic violence unlawful imprisonment, and resisting arrest. Now, those are the only 3 charges that were listed under this article that I read. So, I mean, this might not be the full docket on what his cases is, but this is the charges that I saw. I didn't see attempted murder.
What it was?
I'm saying I didn't see. Well, yeah. What else would it? Yeah, attempted murder is one that's missing.
Yeah, it has to be attempted murder.
And that is a big issue for me. How is it that the woman obviously was visibly beat? How is it that the police overheard during the 911 call him say, "You're still alive," which means that he committed this act with the intention of murdering this beautiful black woman? How is there still no murder, or attempted murder rather, charges brought upon him? Like, how is it that she gave a statement to the police who spoke to her when they asked her, "Did you think you were gonna die?" And her response was, "I thought that I did." How's, after all of that, still no attempted murder charges on this player? And I would answer all of that, because this was rhetorical. I would answer all of that by saying, because he is a white male in a white society, and he plays for one of the sports that this country regards. So, as you can see during Donald Trump's presidency, the NFL and politics kind of go hand in hand. Yeah. They don't want you to talk politics in the NFL, but they also want to talk politics when it behooves them, when it benefits them. So my issue, obviously, is I'm upset. I'm hurt by this. I'm a father, you know what I'm saying? I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a cousin. I'm a not quite a husband yet, but I'm on the way to that. You know what I'm saying? So I have a woman in my life. So to think that a man, and not just a man of a different demographic, would be in a relationship with a black queen and would try to force her to bow to him, and when she refuses, would then ensue in a beating to the pulp. He damn near killed this woman because of that. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in, and I'm not surprised at it, but I'm disappointed. I don't know which state this was or which city.
Seattle.
I'm disappointed in the city of Seattle that they don't have any type of protection in place for women, and mainly and especially women of color, when they are faced with these type of situations. Now, I'm sure that if this was, like you indicated, a black man versus black woman situation, this black man would have been facing attempted murder charges. His bail would have probably been $4 million, and he would still be behind bars as it stands.
He wouldn't have got bail because he'd have been a threat to his community or a threat to her, and they wouldn't let him out. And if it's all this resisting going on, and they're tasing him and wrestling him, and he's throwing him around, he might not have made it out of. Like, he probably would have made it out at an apartment or house or whatever they was in, because we're not afforded that opportunity to. We're not even afforded the opportunity to talk back. It's like, man, if you try to discuss too long, it's like, man, you're a threat now.
Yeah.
You know, you discuss too long, and now you're showing aggression, and they're all of a sudden fearful for their life. But this guy is a monster, and you're not fearful for your life. It just shows you, like, we really do live in two separate Americas. The rules that apply to certain people do not apply to all. Like, I don't feel like I wouldn't ever, but if I get into an altercation with my lady and she calls the cops, they're coming with the intent of taking me out. Mm-hmm. Like, if they respond to domestic, most times, especially in a black or urban neighborhood, they're coming with the intent to harm you, no matter what's going on. They're taking the male out of there hurt, at the least hurt. At the worst, you're in the bag.
Yep.
But this guy just really did all this for the reason that she wouldn't bow down. So that's where I said the mental health thing is nonsense, because you weren't just having an episode where you were mad about nothing. You were upset because she didn't bow.
Right.
So now you acted like, what? Hold on. I don't know what he was thinking, but all that I do, I'm paying for. You here from because of me. Like, this mansion is mine. You gonna bow to me, and you're black. You're gonna bow. So, and his thing is, once you did that, it's like, oh, you're just gonna be disobedient. I'm gonna show you. And we can't let this happen to any women. Like, no woman on walking earth deserves that, especially not our beautiful black women. Like, right. This has got to stop. I'm appalled at the NFL. They haven't dropped down anything yet. He just got released by Seattle because the team released him, but he's not suspended. He's not suspended pending that investigation. He can get signed tomorrow, and they'll be like, oh, let's investigate it. When it was Kareem Hunt, it happened on a Monday. He was cut and suspended indefinitely by Thursday. Like, it was done. You know, we got players of the NFL who smoke weed, and they had him under investigation and kicked out the league immediately. Mike Vick was arrested quickly. Yep. Like, Ray Rice kicked out the league immediately. And this guy's just like, man, look, yeah, I did it. But he's not the only one. The kicker for the Giants had been doing it for years, and they kept saying, oh, they was hiding it and falsifying police reports and all this stuff. Come to find out, he 4 or 5 charges in, and still playing for the Giants. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's saddening, man. It's very disheartening that this goes on, and I need all men to get it together who live like that. If you are that angry and you can't control yourself, you're that impulsive, like, seek help, man. Like, it's nothing weak about going to see a counselor. There's nothing weak about seeing a psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying? If you can't control yourself any better than that, then you need to go see somebody.
And I mean, obviously he can't afford this. If you can't afford the expenses of a therapist, if you can't find the medication necessary, and I don't really want to say medication or whatever, but there is the option to get up, open the door, and walk through it, and go for a walk. You know what I'm saying, go talk to someone who you're familiar with, who could calm you. You know, we all have someone who we can speak to and they can reason with us and could kind of talk us off of that ledge. So I'm saying those would be my suggestions. If you're skeptical of going to the shrink and speaking with someone and, letting them into your vulnerable state, someone who doesn't know you personally, then, and the person who you would usually turn to is unavailable, just go for a walk. Go have a smoke. Go, I wouldn't say go drink, because that might just enhance it. So when I say smoke, I mean, I'm saying smoke a little Buddha, you feel me, some marijuana, I'm saying, or go smoke you a little cigarette if that's your poison, go smoke a black if that's your poison, and just go relax. Go calm yourself and talk yourself down before returning to that hostile environment that either you or your woman or you both created, because putting your hands on her is definitely never the answer. It's not the right way to go. And I mean, this dude is 6'7", 310 pounds. To a 5 foot something, 160 pound woman, he looks like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, that size comparison is ridiculous. Like, how he doesn't have attempted murder charges is just beyond me.
It's beyond me.
How he survived that encounter with the police is just beyond me, because I've seen police kill white people before too. So like, not to say that it never happened. Obviously, it doesn't happen nowhere near the clip that it happens to us. But how he survived, like how they didn't, they attempted to tase him, I saw, and it said it had no effect. Usually, when a police officer attempts to tase an individual, usually a black individual, and it has no effect, the next thing is the gun.
Yeah.
I'm saying that a lot of times they think they're reaching for the taser, but they're reaching for the gun. At least they try to tell us.
That's what they tell us.
They're reaching for the taser. So how they didn't 6'7", 310 pounds, bro?
In a rage.
Come on,
it's no calming that down.
Come on, son.
But
I don't know.
Two different Americas, man, and I'm saddened by it. Like, this stuff has got to happen. I hate seeing stuff like this in the news, man. It's hard, man. Like, having a wife and a mother and a mother-in-law, and man, just to know people like, man, I would lose it. I'd be in jail.
I would be in jail right now too.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't. I couldn't imagine having a daughter and getting a call like that. Like, I think he was trying to kill me. Wherever you at, you can be in North Korea. I'm on the next thing smoking, bro. Like, right. I'm catching a flight tonight.
Liam Nielsen.
You don't find you. You don't know me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how it's going down.
But yeah, man, that's sad story, man. Hated to end on that, but hey, that's what's going on out here in the world, man. We're gonna pray for him here on the Wing and a Prayer, man.
That's a fact.
We'll definitely pray for her, man. Prayers up to her, man, and her recovery and her mental state. She'll never trust men again after that. Like, that's crazy. So
I hope she never trusts another white man after that.
Yeah, definitely that. But we definitely gonna pray for her, man. Get well soon. Get back home to family. Let them love on you until you build yourself back up.
Yeah.
Prayers up for her, definitely. Any woman that's in a situation that's getting abused verbally, you know what I'm saying, physically, emotionally, like, you can get out, man. But love yourself first. Leave that guy alone, man.
Yeah. And I implore anyone to love whoever they want to love. That's whichever gender or non-gender, whichever color or non-color that you choose. But black men, we got to do better in letting our black women feel secure within their own community, so that we can stop having them going outside of our community into the arms of these demons, and then we have to save them. So it's just a sad thing. But once again, love who you want to. I'm not saying anything like that. I know one thing, and until the day I'm done, I'm gonna love a black queen, and hopefully it will be my black queen. And I'm gonna try to lighten the mood a little bit, because that was a really a down conversation. But as we stated, this is Super Bowl Sunday. So the Super Bowl is tonight. I don't know when you're watching this or when this is going to be put up, but as you're watching, the Super Bowl is tonight. So I'm going to get Mike's thoughts on the Super Bowl, try to make it quick so we can end this. And I already know his thoughts, but I want him to give it to you guys. I'm going to start by saying, obviously we all know it's Tom Brady playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Pat Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs. This is Mahomes' second Super Bowl appearance in a row, and this would be his second Super Bowl championship in a row if they win. This is Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl appearance. He's 6-10, right? He's 6-10. If he's 6-9,
6-4.
Oh yes, this is 10th. So he's 6-4. Yeah. My math is horrible. But either way, he has 6 championships. This is his 10th appearance. If he wins this one, he can be 7 championships in and retire on that note. You take the stand.
Brady. Listen, I like Pat. I like the Chiefs. I'm tired of them already. I kind of got fatigued of them, just like people got fatigued of the Golden State Warriors. It was like, all right, they ain't win too many, but it was just 2 strong years of too much. You know, it's like you're on TV every week. I'm tired of Tariq Hill and these screen passes going for 90 yards. Like, oh, somebody would just hit this guy. I'm tired of Andy Reid.
They trying.
His son, they not releasing the information on his accident, but it sounds like he might have been under the influence and got into a car crash and injured some kids. But that's not going to make breaking news. Can't distract the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
So it's just, I'm tired of them already. I'm tired. Pat Mahomes been in the league for 40 games. He's won 38 of them. I'm tired already. 2 Super Bowls in both of his years starting. I can't take it. He got to go. But nah, I like him. I just think the Bucks, man, they need one, man. They haven't had one since like Rondé and man, they need one. You know, I like to see different teams win. I know Tom has won a lot, but nobody else on that roster has a championship. Their team is really made up of people who's used to losing. Mike Evans, been with the Bucks the whole time. Leonard Fournette was a Jaguar. You know, he's struggling. You know, only Gronk and Tom. That's it. Antonio Brown been a mainstay in Pittsburgh. He was doing this thing. Never could cross the threshold. Was been sell out a lot. It's just time for them to win. I mean, Honey Badger got his, and they're gonna win for like the next 6-7 years. Like Pat tied into his $500 million contract, so it's like they're gonna be there for a while, you know. So let's just get the Bucks one, you know. And I like that team, man. Like I knew using more Madden when I make up my team. Their colors are pretty cool, so you know I can rock with it. I used to like Ward Dunn back in the day, like on the strength of the old Bucks. Go Bucks. Yeah, go Bucks.
I can agree with the fact that you where you come off where you say that you would like the other members of the team, not just so Tom Brady, although it is some of Tom Brady for you too. It's the rest of the team, but you know, in a trend that's going to be a common thing that you guys are going to see here. I'm going to disagree with Mike. I'm saying I'm going to play devil's advocate. First, I'm going to start by being a little ignorant and say, how dare you wish a white quarterback to win the Super Bowl on the month of Black History?
Which one is the black quarterback?
Pat Mahomes.
He's not black.
He's a black brother, man. Pat Mahomes is black.
First off, he used Head and Shoulders. He's in all the Head and Shoulders commercials. we ain't on that. We ain't on that, man.
Yo, hold on. I just got a little headache.
If you not out here using Suave dollar store shampoo, bro, like, come on, man. Yo, Dr. Miracles or something like that.
Cantu.
Yeah, man. African Pride. You out here with the Head and Shoulders, sell some blue. Bro, we not... He's not black.
Head and Shoulders for dandruff. He might got some dandruff. I'm saying he's trying to get it
black
out.
people don't really be having dandruff like that.
Yeah, we really don't. I had a dandruff problem as a kid, though.
We ain't got like lice and stuff. That's not our blessing.
But not only that was the ignorant part, but I just feel as though the way you feel about the Kansas City Chiefs being constantly winning, being in the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, and especially with it being Pat Mahomes' fourth season?
No, and second season.
Like
he came off the bench at the end of his first one, and he started 2 straight seasons, and he's been in a Super Bowl both of them seasons.
So it's like I can understand that in the comparison to the Warriors and all of that, and to that I just combat it with Tom Brady was the same guy. It was the same thing for the most of the fans of the NFL, especially Cowboy fans. It was just like, why is it that Tom Brady is always in the Super Bowl? Why is Tom Brady always hoisting up a trophy? You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel the same way. I don't really want to see Tom. It would be a nice story for Tom Brady to end it in this fashion. He led the Patriots in all of those years. And to go to another team, this is his first year on this team, right? Yeah. To go to another team for the first year and go straight to the Super Bowl, especially on the year, because they had a losing record, right? They was doing bad,
yeah,
and stuff like that. So it's like, for that to happen is just like, that'd be great. A great story for him, a great story for the rest of the guys on the team to get their championships and so forth. But I like the idea of this young black brother. Yes, he's a black brother. I like the idea of this young black brother coming up and winning consecutive Super Bowls, especially one against who they beat last season. Who they beat last season again?
Garoppolo.
All right, so
San Fran. Yeah.
Against this time being Tom Brady, the only person to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl was a New York Giant by the name of Eli Manning. So at this point, there has been no other quarterback to do this. So for Pat Mahomes to be the black kryptonite to Tom Brady would be a dope story for Pat Mahomes. It'd be a great win for that team to show their dominance moving forward. Like you said, they could win 5-6 more championships. Why not?
Yeah, their colors don't matter. Red and yellow and orange.
I think their colors are pretty dope. That's a pretty dope color scheme.
They had their chance to win when Tony Gonzalez was there. They couldn't get him one. Now they want to win all the time. I'm tired of it.
It's not their fault that they're that damn good. Like, how can you put the blame? How are you gonna say they couldn't get it done with this guy, but now they want to get it done? I mean, they got their in order. You feel me? They got the right players.
I want it out of order.
You know what I'm saying? And bearing injuries and all of this type of things that could possibly happen in the future, they have a bright future ahead of themselves. I don't want to see it a fork thrown in it this season, because we all know that football is not really a sport where the same teams frequent the Super Bowl often. I mean, Tom Brady's dominance on the NFL has shown a different trait, but usually this doesn't happen often. So if they lose this season, there's a possibility that they might not return as good as they are. Someone else could emerge in the following season.
I hope so.
Which is why they should win this one. So that
we gotta let the GOAT win one on his way out.
He won 6,
but the other people have won none,
and he held them back too. It's his fault.
But they won none.
This is the reason why they haven't won. Honey Badger, his fault.
Tyreek Hill, Nicole Hardman, bro, they all got one last year, right? I think there was there. Sammy Watkins, they was there last year. They got one.
Yeah.
They felt the mountain. You don't need too much, just that's one to get you right, Channing Frye won one. That one just enough.
Once you get that taste of victory, you just don't want to let it go, man. You don't want to let it go.
You just
taste
need,
the blood.
You just need one. I never got tired of seeing Kobe win. The Celtics won one. I was like, good stuff. Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett, you never win again. And we went on another Kobe run.
Hey, but when Detroit won theirs, not the Bad Boys Detroit, I'm talking about the Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, that one ring.
They won 2.
They won 2?
Yeah, I think it was back-to-back 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was 1.
Nah, they got 2 chips,
They got 2?
I think so. I think they won 2 back-to-back championships, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you love
I'm going to have to double-check this. Obviously, if I'm wrong, don't call me crazy in the comments.
They won 1. They beat the Lakers.
I think they won 2. I think both of them might have been against those guys.
Nah, we only lost on once.
It was only one?
Then we broke up.
I'm going to double-check this. I think I'm going to check this as soon as we hit stop, too, because I want to be right.
Yeah, I want somebody different to win, man. I want to see Antonio Brown finally go. I definitely want to see the jackass he becomes after he wins it. He's
I forgot Antonio Brown.
I want to see how he turns up. That's going to be, because football's done after this. And we gotta have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And him wilding and getting frostbite feet and stuff. He's about to buy more helicopters and all types of stuff. I want to see who he becomes after this Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
But nah, I hope it's a good game. That's all I'm really asking for.
Of course.
My Cowboys not in it, but I hope it's a good game. NFC all the way, so go Bucks.
I'm just happy that the Super Bowl is going on. Prior to all of this, when I had my initial idea to do podcasts and all those things, during the whole height of the NFL and the whole kneeling and the way things were going, I was super opposed to the NFL. I didn't really want the NFL to have a Super Bowl last season. I really didn't want them to have games continue while the country was in the state that it was in, because of the way that the politics was being used to kind of, the way Trump would say certain things about the players and things, they don't have freedoms just because they get millions of dollars and they play a sport. So, but this year is a little different. It's been a crazy 2 years because the pandemic started around last year, same time, I'm saying. Crazy year then. This would be the second year of the pandemic, and it's just something to have, people get together and chill and enjoy something that we've been enjoying for many of years.
Yeah.
Even people who don't watch football watch the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They watch it for commercials, they watch it for the halftime show, and they just they come together just for the thought of coming togetherness.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for today to be Super Bowl Sunday. Looking forward to whoever wins. It really doesn't really matter to me who wins. I'm not a Pat fan. I'm not a Brady fan. I'm a fan of sports. I'm trying to get into football a little bit more, so I don't have a team. I'm going to find one. I'm from New York, so by default, I go for the Giants.
Don't do that. Go Bucks.
But moving forward, I'm just looking forward to see who wins and go NFL. That's what I ain't gonna choose. All right, nah. I gotta choose one. Go Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs for tonight.
Go Bucks. And we'll be back on next week. And if I win, I'm gloating.
Just gonna show up with the jersey, man.
I might go get me one. Time terrific. Time terrific. But enjoy your weekends. Enjoy your days. Stay blessed. It's been another episode of A Wing and a Prayer. See you guys next week. Same time.
Bow. Peace.